This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're looking at for Monday Night Football Week 10. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, we record these Monday night shows on Friday. We've hit a lot of NFL stuff in the last week and a half, or 2 weeks rather. We hit every single thing that I told you to do in Week 9, so a ton of profit for you, check mark. And we hit Thursday Night Football last night, and we hit that one too, check mark. And we did a show for Wednesday NBA, and we hit that one too, check mark. Not only is this YouTube channel showing you that PlayerProps.ai works when you use it as it's designed to be used, but you're also making a crap ton of profit by watching the video and learning how to use the app, to where now you can go get the week pass. That's a complimentary week pass. Or you can also, and also get into the Discord, because there's no excuses that you're not in a free chat room app where there's 18,000 plus other people, not only showing you that they're winning a ton of money by using the app, but also helping you win a ton of money by using the app. So just make sure that you're just listening to the words coming out of my mouth, and you will be successful. The only way you can't be a successful bettor is by ignoring me. And you would have to willingly choose to ignore me, which means if you willingly choose to ignore me, you willingly choose to not be a successful bettor, which that doesn't make much sense, does it? It doesn't. But it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them. So if your mistake was, I've been watching these videos for like a couple weeks, couple months, maybe even a couple years. I've always ignored Travis. Every time he told me this is what all the successful sports bettors, this is what they're doing, this is how they use the app, this is how they bet, this is how they manage their bankroll, I've ignored him. But I've learned from my mistakes. I'm going to start listening to the words coming out of his mouth. The only way mistakes are bad is if you don't learn from them. If you constantly are doing the same thing over and over again expecting different results, that is the textbook Webster Dictionary definition of insanity. Are you insane? Are you crazy? Do you think that if you only do 10-pick parlays over and over again, that it's going to work out for you in the long run? That's what insanity means. You have to listen to the words coming out of my mouth. If you're already successful, you're probably not watching this video in the first place. But, ladies and gentlemen, there is a path to be a successful bettor. It is everything I've been telling you in every video. This is, I don't know, I think I'm closely approaching 1,000 different videos on this YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos out there that we've put out that it educates you on how to use the app, how to be a strategic bettor, how to manage your bankroll better, how to join the Discord that's free to join because there's no excuses. If you don't know what Discord is, that is, I mean, you could. It's possible that you don't know what a Discord app is or what the Discord app is. But the excuses part comes from, now that I'm telling you it's a chat room app, that's where 18,000 plus of our members live that help you every single day. Now that you know that, you have no excuses on getting it. Get the app, create an account, get in our Discord, connect your accounts to unlock all the channels. There's no excuses. If you want to have the success of everyone in Discord who's dropping winning screenshots on a daily basis, it's not rocket science. You just have to do what they are doing. You have to be where they're at, Discord. You have to use what they're using, PlayerProps.ai. You have to manage your bankroll how they're doing. You have to use the app. Everything that they're doing, it's just copy and paste. Learn from them. This is not, oh, hey, what are you locking in today? No, this is a pick service. We teach you how to pick better. It still blows my mind that I know some people just heard me go on that, 4.5 minute tangent. And you're like, you know what? I'm not going to join the Discord because I like not having more money at the end of the day than when I started with. Doesn't make much sense, does it? We have Week 10 Monday Night Football. We are on a crazy win streak here. We've made you guys a ton of money. Again, these videos aren't necessarily just to land on an individual play that we all like to lock in called the play of the day. It's to teach you how to use the app. So for college football Saturday, college basketball on Sunday, NBA, whatever, it doesn't matter the sport. we all use the app the exact same way across all the sports. So when there is a day of sport where we don't have a video for the day, like we're recording this on Friday, but for Friday games, there's not necessarily a video that's going over what games are available for today on Friday. But you have 900 videos, you can reference any one of them, and okay, if there are NBA games today, let's go back to the last NBA video that he did, which won us a lot of money on Wednesday. What did I do in that show? Copy and paste what I did on the app as you're watching the video, and then you're gonna find a play that I would have wound up on anyway because you're using the app as I'm teaching you. It's not rocket science. This is copy and paste. You're pretending that it's rocket science. You're trying to make the excuse that it's rocket science. Like, oh, I'm not smart enough for this. Everybody is smart enough for this. There's no such thing as being not smart enough to copy and paste. And there's also no such thing as asking dumb questions. So if you are someone who's like, I don't really know what this means, even though I've watched some videos, that is what the Discord chat room is for. Hey, I watched this video. What does this mean again? 18,000 plus people, including myself, more than happy to answer that question. We want you to ask that question. We actually don't like it when you don't ask questions. So it's not like, oh, I don't ask a question, nobody's going to answer. Everybody's going to answer. Everybody's welcoming. We have the #1 ranked, most helpful, most welcoming sports betting Discord on the planet. I've made sure of it. I'm in all the other ones. They're not helpful. They're very toxic. They'll laugh at you for asking a silly question. There's no such thing as silly questions in mine. So get in the gosh dang Discord and stop making excuses. We got the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hopefully this will be an offensive game and not like the crap we've seen the last handful of Thursday night football games, where last night was like a 10-7 game. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. I didn't mean to click on Devonta Smith, but the first thing we do, as I've taught you in every single video for the last year, is we click the trifectas button. But typically, normally on single game slates, we don't get trifectas, which is fine. I then reference the opponent ranking. If we are going over, which is what is selected here, we want this to be green. If we're going under, which is what's selected here, we want this to be red. So it's red when we're looking at over, which means we're not that excited about it. Yellow is mid, of course, in the middle of red and green for those who don't drive and don't remember what stoplights look like. But what's interesting is I believe Christian Watson, I don't know what he's trending right now. So Doobies gets his targets regardless. Christian Watson, I think he started last week with like a big 50-yard catch, 52-yard catch or something. Also banged up, but I know this is a game they want to win because it's against the Eagles, so he may push for it. But I know that even if both of these guys start, that Romeo's still going to get his looks. But again, this yellow, not too excited about it. And yeah, so there's no green when it comes to passing yards. So we'll just take a quick gander at rushing yards. Nope. So for Green Bay defense, they've allowed the 28th most rushing yards out of 32 teams, which is very close to being allowing the least amount of rushing yards. 14th most in the last 3. So they're allowing more as of late, Green Bay defense. Philly kind of mid the entire season, 14th out of 32, 17th in the last 3. So there's no like instantaneous target of, oh, this is what we want to target. The new reception stat, as I showed you guys for Thursday Night Football that we hit on. Target share. Josh Jacobs only gets 12% of the target shares. This is also not a high enough line for us. If you don't know what I mean by certain numbers that we look for, there's a channel in Discord that is called Trifectas. Once you join the free Discord, it's a free channel. However, you don't get access to the free channels until you go to your PlayerProps.ai profile page, which is clicking this thing in the top left. And there's a big blue button here. After you click on that, it says Connect Discord on it. It literally says the words Connect Discord. You click on that, That's what syncing means when I say connect your Discord account to your PlayerProps.ai account, and then the system goes, oh, they have a PlayerProps.ai account. Even if it's a free one, it still unlocks all the channels. We won't let you see our Discord if you can't prove to us that you've at least created a free PlayerProps.ai account. That's how we keep the spam bots out. And that's how a lot of people let spam bots in, because they don't have any walls or barriers set up to protect their users. Just taking a quick glance here. So what I did on Thursday Night Football that we hit last night with Troy Franklin is when somebody misses a reception line like he did the past 2 games, I'd like to see that he's at least getting more than 3 looks, but you don't see any gray on top of these 2 like you do here because he only got 3 targets and he caught each of them. I would prefer it if it was like this, where he missed, but he had 9 targets, so he just needed to catch 1 more of the other 6 opportunities to hit. But that's not what we see here, so it doesn't make me incredibly in love with it. And I know he's got a 20.9% target share, but that's over the course of the season. He clearly hasn't been targeted a lot the last 2 games, because we just saw he's been targeted 3 each and caught all of them. Devonta Smith, massive amounts. 9 targets, 11 targets, 10 targets, 9 targets. He's got 4 out of the last 6 games of 9 targets or more. Then he's got this Tampa Bay one, this Giants one. And the difference isn't high enough anyway. Projections technically leaning over, but we need a lot more of a difference for us to even consider it. Let's look at the under here. So I would think this is a trap here. So Tyler Kraft was a very important part of the Green Bay offense, passing attack, and now he's out for the season. So Luke Musgrave becomes tight end number 1. So don't pay attention to 4.3% target share. Don't pay attention to all these zeros here. He's now the starting tight end for the Green Bay Packers, and he is known to be a receiving tight end, I believe. And so I can only assume he's going to be running the same routes and having the same play calls and the same looks. So don't fall into the Luke Musgrave trap. It's very interesting that he's got a 0.0% difference here. 4.5, 4.5. So yeah, nothing on receptions that we're looking at. Let's look at passing. We know passing yards is not going to have any green because we just looked at that for receiving yards. We know that it's red here and yellow here. Let me see what the AI says. So what I'm considering now is seeing what the AI is saying for this game. So Green Bay's a 2.5 favorite, and it says by a fraction of a smidge. This is not enough to bet on the spread. It's only 50.4. The lowest it can be is 50.1. But it's still saying this is going to be a very close game, with Green Bay having a slight edge. High scoring game. Slightly favors the under. Sometimes we have shows where it just pops out and we're like, oh, this is the clear best possible play. And sometimes you just have to keep searching. That's why some of these videos can be 10 minutes, some can be longer. If you're like, oh, I don't have 10 minutes, I don't have 20 minutes, you don't have time to bet. You cannot reap the benefits that betting brings unless you put the work in. You can't just be like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to put money on something and I want it to win. That mindset is how the sports books have yachts. Stop paying for their yachts and start paying for your own financial well-being. So we said Green Bay's a slight favorite. And if we're basing this on the game script, on that narrative, that means the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be passing at the end of the game, even if it'll be a close game. Green Bay doesn't allow a lot of passing yards. That's why his line is so low. But AI says, hey, that is a pretty low line. 194.5. What is this? 28, 29 yards higher? We don't need him to hit 223. We just need him to get 195 in theory. So we'd be going against the grain here, but I think the stiff Green Bay defense is why this line is so low and why this cushion is somewhat decent for a passing yards. Also, let me see here. 226, 130. $326, $179. What are we on? We're on DraftKings. Looks on DraftKings is lining it all the way down to 192.5. It's been up to 195.5. Now back to 194. His last 3 games, he's averaged 262. We're just going to keep looking at stuff here. We looked at rushing yards. We looked at receptions. We looked at passing yards. Passing TDs. Not enough difference here to touch that. I can't figure out. I'm trying to build the narrative and the game script in my head based on what we're seeing here. So I'm trying to be like, okay, out of all this stuff we've looked for, what seems to be like the most likely outcome? Let's go back to our starting point of receiving yards again. He hooked here on this line against the Giants, so he's been pretty consistent for majority of the season. He had a garbage first game of the season, and then 53-60. I think he may have even got hurt in this game for a little bit. 29 against Tampa Bay, 114, 49, 183, 84. AJ Brown did not play last game, I don't believe. I don't think he did. But I think he's back, and that is always a plus. You want the star receivers if you're looking at another receiving option to play, because that means they take away defensive attention. But also the fact this 38.5 says he's an unpredictable player. But his line has dropped. It was up to 55.5 on DraftKings, down to 49.5. Is that because AJ Brown is... Yeah, it seems like he's back. He's good. Dallas, Dotson, Smith, Brown. So if we're disregarding the red, which is something we don't like to do, and if let's just say in theory, we're considering Smith receiving yards, even though we don't know the best line yet because we haven't looked at the props comparison tool, but let's just say for argument's sake, just talking out loud here, we're considering Devontae Smith 49.5 and Hurts passing, what was it, 194.5? What seems, out of those two options, you have to think of which is the most likely outcome. Is it Devontae Smith hits his line, but Jalen Hurts doesn't? Or is it Jalen Hurts hits his line, but Devontae Smith doesn't? So is it possible for Jalen Hurts to get 195 yards and not at least a fourth of those yards going to Devontae Smith, which we already know it's more than a fourth, slightly more than a fourth on target share. So if he does get 200 yards passing, based on the target share, it seems like Devontae Smith will hit his line. So then, by talking out loud about this, because we know how much he's targeted, because we know how much Jalen Hurts needs to hit his line, let's just round it up to 200 even. If he gets 200 passing yards, based on the target share, Devontae Smith should have at least a quarter of those. And a quarter of those of 200 is 50. And his line is exactly 49.5. If they're trailing in this game, which is what the line is, that they're going to lose by 2.5, even though the AI says it's going to be closer than 2.5, it doesn't give... Yeah, so it says the current money line at like minus 130, like because this is 0.48. It's like, yeah, this is... It seems like the sportsbooks have it correct on the actual chance the Green Bay has of winning this game. Even though they're down their star tight end. So let's see if let's check both of those player lines. Monday Night Football. AJ Brown 56.5, Christian Watson. So yeah, Hard Rock and BetMGM have at 48.5. That's the best line. So 48.5. Let's see what the best passing yards line is. FanDuel with 193.5. Which one is the most likely outcome? $48.5. The problem is I'm not in love with any of them. To the point where we would have already made up our mind, and we're now, 21 minutes into this episode. Josh Jacobs is always a trifecta for this. I don't think there's been a game where he's had under. So to be a trifecta, it's simply the projection has to be 1.0 or higher, and I mean this guy scores touchdowns. I don't think we've done this NFL season, so what I was thinking of is doing 3. So when we aren't in love with something where we can finish the show and be like, this is what we like, what we did a lot for MLB season is we choose 3 singles, three single bets, which means you only have to hit 2 of them to have profit. And so that's the goal, is at least getting 2 out of 3 to be profitable. But the problem is, with the 2 we were looking at of Hurts passing yards and Devontae Smith receiving yards, there's a correlation there. That if one of them misses, it probably means the other one misses. Like if Devontae Smith doesn't hit his line, there's a good chance that Jalen Hurts, because Devontae Smith gets 26% target share, also doesn't hit his line. So we can't pick both of those in this situation, because that's essentially shooting yourself in the foot. There's a chance that if one misses, the other one also misses. So if we're sticking on the 3, we would still need to choose one of those 2 anyway. So what I'm thinking, I think out of those 2, what we're going to do is we're going to do Smith 48.5. And because we're not going to do Jalen Hurts, because of the correlation between if Smith misses or hits, it also means that Hurts misses or hits. So I don't think we're going to push for the 3 here. I think we're just going to stick with that one. And you'd be like, but Travis, you always tell us don't play things if it has red defense. But yes, out of everything we looked at, this, because they are projected to lose this game, they're going to be passing a lot more at the end of the game. 48.5. Who had 48.5? Was it BetMGM? I can't remember. Yeah, BetMGM 48.5. 17% difference. He just needs to get 49 yards to hit. Even though that Green Bay has a stout defense, this guy is very, very good in the slot doing crossing routes. There's a reason Why he's hit this line 75% of the season, 100% of the games he's played in the last 365 days against the Packers. And the correlation of them losing this game means they're going to be passing at the end of the fourth quarter to potentially try to win this game. So even though this red is not good, I think this is the direction we are going. I think. Look at Dallas one more time. Nah, yeah, he wasn't getting enough looks the last two games we saw. Man. I haven't signed off on the show because I'm still not in love with. You know what? We're going to do a first. I changed my mind. We're going to do a first. I don't think we've ever, on this entire series, finished with an anytime touchdown play. But we're going to stick with the trifecta Josh Jacobs. He can get one rushing yard the entire game and still get a touchdown. And because they're supposed to be winning, there's going to be rushing at the end. And so there's more reason for them to not pass the ball. If they're on like the 5 when they're trying to milk the clock, they're going to be running the ball so we can get it in. And of course, this is incredibly sexy. Not counting the Cleveland Browns game, this man finds the end zone. So it took us a while to get there, ladies and gents, but I think that's what we're going to be going with here. So now, because anytime touchdown's the same stat, it's always going to be like a 0.5 line or just, yes, he's going to get anytime touchdown. Just make sure you're getting the best odds possible for your anytime touchdown prop. We have that as well on the comparison here. Anytime touchdown. Where is this man? So BetMGM pays you the most. So if he goes into the end zone, BetMGM pays you the most amount of money. So if you have BetMGM in your state, oh, looks like it just bumped all over the place. So if you have BetMGM in your state and you're choosing to bet on something else, you're choosing to make more money when you get something right, which is a silly thing to do because this is about you making the most amount of money possible by making the smartest decisions possible. So ladies and gents, it took us a while to get there. It just, nothing else made sense. So that's what we're doing. Ladies and gents, that's what we're doing. Make sure if you haven't yet, you click the subscribe button on this. I know there's a handful of people watching that haven't clicked the subscribe button yet. And then they complain about, oh, Troy Franklin's line is at 4.5 instead of 3.5. I missed it because I didn't subscribe and I didn't get the notification that you dropped a new video, and so I have a worse line. Do you want worse lines? Don't subscribe. Do you want to get notified when we drop a play so you get the best lines possible? Click the gosh dang subscribe button. It's free. If you're not doing everything available to you that is 100% free, you aren't trying hard enough, and failure is your fault. If you don't want to blame it on yourself, you want to blame it on something else like the players or me or the app, you have to at least try to use it to your fullest extent. We got there eventually. Good luck, guys, and we'll see you in the Discord, which you have to join. There are 0 excuses. It's free. Get in it. Stop making excuses. Connect your account. We'll see you there.